We have the full strawberry moon at 1 degree of Capricorn, happening on June 21st at 6:07 p.m. Pacific, which is 9:07 p.m. Eastern. Check your local time to see when this lunar event is occurring for you. And so, welcome to the first full moon in Capricorn that we're going to have within the next month. And what I mean by this is, we're about to have a second full moon in Capricorn on July 21st. So this is the first one at a very early degree of Capricorn, and that last one will be at the 29th degree. And when we have those types of situations, so what that means is we're going to have a second look in Capricorn energy. So whatever we did 6 months ago in the new moon in Capricorn, we're going to examine it here, but we're also going to give it a re-examination once we get to that moon on July 21st. So this first one will be about getting comfortable stepping into the energy, the things that we've developed over this last 6 months. And that last one on July 21st will show us what we need to let go of. This first full moon in Capricorn is going to be a strawberry moon, and the last one will be a buck moon. But of course, I will get to that second one once we get to July. So this is a strawberry moon that we're having here, and this lunar event got its name through the observation of native and ancient tribes. Observe the fact that berries were in bloom, strawberries were in bloom. These berries are some of the early fruits we start to see before we get to the fall harvest. So it symbolizes something ripening, which of course on a spiritual level, energetically, this is going to be a time where you're starting to see that your goals are taking shape. And even if they're not quite ready yet, this is a time where you're starting to see a little more confirmation beginning in terms of the stuff that's ripening for you. Transit-wise, this moon is mixed bag. It's a pretty edgy one. It's also an edgy week of transits, but there's a lot going on with this where, we'll have our moments where we're ready to make things happen for ourselves. We'll feel ultra ambitious, especially considering some of the vibes on the graph that we have. Even though we have complexities going on, we'll feel motivated to get things done. There is some good luck energy that's lasting from the 21st to the 23rd. Mental energy will be very prevalent for the next 2 days as well, along with some ambitious vibes, along with some family and friends energy lasting until the 22nd. So we'll feel like we're really busy through this time. We'll come up with some sort of concepts that are going to help us in the long term, but also we may stumble on some fortunate opportunities over these next 48 hours. I couldn't think of a better sign to have all of this ambitious energy. Capricorn is about initiating things. It's about starting things. It's about persevering and pushing through your obstacles to reveal your true potential. So, considering we're here at this full moon cycle, we're at the peak of the energy, think about what you were planning 6 months ago in Capricorn energy. How are you trying to incorporate the positive traits of this sign since January 11th of 2024? Where are you trying to gain stability in your life? And are you starting to see the results of that effort that you've been putting in? Has this been a period where you're gaining knowledge on how to lay a stronger foundation in your life? In other words, have you discovered ways to have more structure in your life? Have you discovered ways to be more grounded? Have you discovered ways to have something more solid in your life in terms of having a nice place to land and something you can always go back to because you've developed a resource that will stand the test of time? Sometimes this could be about finally coming out of a shaky place and learning how to develop stability overall. Because this is Capricorn energy, we are looking at external stability. So this could have been a period to create a long-term plan that was going to ensure that you'll have success. This could have been a period of gaining more financial stability or developing some sort of action plan so that way you can increase your income. So this could have been a period to see how you can level yourself up monetarily. Sometimes this getting solid in your life could have been considering what you're committing yourself to. In other words, was this a time to review if something was worth your commitment? This could have been a job, this could have been relationships, this could have been other things that might be a waste of time or pulling you in so many different directions. You don't feel like you have any sense of groundedness. So now you're at a place where you're not scattering your energy so much and you're looking to keep your eye on the prize and release yourself from things that have you pulled in so many different directions and just knowing what to commit yourself to and what's worth your while. And also basically seeing, are you getting a return on investment when it comes down to certain situations? So this could have been a period of seeing what's worth your time and energy. That way you are investing yourself in something wise that's going to pay off in the long run. Another way we could have gained a solid foundation in this energy is through stepping into our mature era. Is this a time where you're realizing that you need to take on more responsibility? And I mean that in a constructive way, not bogging yourself down with responsibility for the sake of it, but more or less, Recognizing it's a time to grow up, recognizing it's a time to be more accountable, holding yourself accountable, and also holding others accountable. Because maybe for yourself, you're wanting to exercise more discipline in your day-to-day life. And with others, it could be a time where you're setting better parameters. That way your boundaries aren't being crossed. And if something isn't going right, showing the other person that they need to take ownership as well. And this could also go vice versa too, where you're realizing it's time for you to take ownership if you've been doing things that cross other people's boundaries as well as yours. One of the things that comes with maturity and building a stable foundation is learning the art of patience. And with Capricorn energy, this patience is exercised in a way where you're able to stick with your objectives and be okay with delayed gratification. So has this been a period where you've been able to slow down and just wait? And by wait, I don't mean sit around. I mean in the sense of being okay that something's going to take a little longer. Taking the actions necessary to see your long-term goals come to fruition, but also coming to the conclusion that some things just can't be rushed, especially if you want it to be high quality. And or get the best results out of the deal because you are developing something so it'll last, because you're wanting whatever objectives you have to stand the test of time in this type of energy, rather than it coming fast and then burning out just as quickly. And with this delayed gratification sort of mindset, we develop a lot of staying power, we develop a lot of stamina, and also prudence. We also start exercising good judgment on things, which comes back to that return on investment within Capricorn energy, where we'll only take a risk if we know that it's going to really pay off. So this could have helped you act wisely on things that are actually a sure thing, rather than rushing into something because it seems like it's going to be a get rich quick sort of thing. Another thing with our long-term goals in this energy could have been looking at how you can build up your portfolio. So was this a time where you're trying to build yourself up professionally? Has this been a time where you've been trying to build up your career reputation or have a better public standing, depending on what type of goals or career that you have? On a much public scale, this could have been a time where you're looking to gain authority and become a master in your field. So whatever subject that you are trying to get to the next level in your career with, was this a time where you were building all of that momentum up in order to get eyes on you and to show off the amount of experience and tenure that you have in that particular field? If it's not that, this could have been a time to do the most that you can to get a promotion, because now you're feeling like it's your time to advance in whatever job that you're working for, because you've worked so hard and you've built up the credentials, and now you're ready to show them what you're made of, and you're realizing that you deserve more in terms of status, in terms of a title, and in terms of a promotion. Capricorn energy is about us putting ourselves in a position to succeed, and it doesn't always have to be career. It could be in other areas of life. Generally with Capricorn though, we do look at the more external validation of all of that rather than the personal life stuff, although that could also be a focus within this energy. But either way, this is about building something long lasting, mastering the art of standing out for strenuous efforts, because in this we realize it's our turn to stand on the top of that mountain and claim our achievements. Let's look at these transits and see what we can expect from this lunar event. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps this channel grow. Also, if you're looking for a natal chart reading or intuitive coaching, the links will be in the description box below. And if you'd like to support the work of this channel, you could do so by buying me a fresh cup of coffee. The link will be in the description box below as well. So concerning the transits of this lunar event, we've got some mixed bag energies. Some of the energies are okay in terms of transits. Some of them will be mitigating basically, but there are some that are very harsh. And because this is a full moon, the two rulers for this lunar event are Saturn for Capricorn and the moon for Cancer. One of the energies that we have going on during this lunar event is Saturn is making a semi-square with Pluto, which has been locked in for about a month now. Since Saturn is going into retrograde on the 29th, Pluto is already in retrograde. Pluto is a slow-moving planet, so is Saturn, so they've been kind of locked in this square for a little bit, and this can show us where we need to clear out old structures that no longer serve us. Clear out things that are preventing us from growth, and look at where we need to mature, because it's time to transform our circumstances and start leveling up in our lives. On top of that, the moon is also making complicated alignments to Pluto. And so this is a semi-sextile we have going on, and it can show us where we need to work on oppressed emotions that are holding us back and the importance of developing better coping skills. And some of that might feel confusing because the moon and the sun are also making squares to Neptune too. So this may cause fog when it comes down to our sense of self, our confidence, where some of these emotions are coming from, not being able to trust our instincts or intuition because we're feeling very off when it comes down to being spot on about things. So we could be second guessing ourselves during this time for those reasons. The moon is also going to be opposed Venus and Mercury, which could lead to conversations that aren't going the way we want to. It could lead to our mindset being a bit shaky. And it could also lead to some over-the-top things when it comes down to our emotions in love life scenarios. Luckily, this moon is making harmonious aspects to Mars, and Saturn also is making a harmonious aspect. Saturn is making an aspect to Mercury. That's going to help us in terms of pushing through some of this shaky energy, while the Mars energy will help us take action on whatever we need to take care of. So if there's been something that's been causing us to feel as if we're a little off kilter, we may be able to shake it off with these two energies and start thinking a little more clearly as the day goes by. Another saving grace we have is the sun making connections to Mercury and Venus. There happens to be a Cancer stellium going on right now. And so with these connections, even if things are a little hard on that day because there will be some harsh energies, we may be able to mend fences in some of our communication, some of our love life scenarios, our close relationships, our other connections that we have that need our attention as well. This may be a time where, things don't necessarily go right, maybe the first half of the day, and then we're able to pick things back up and resolve them. And hopefully with that Mercury-Venus connection to the sun, we're able to get back on track when it comes down to our confidence, our sense of self, and really just being able to bring out our personality without feeling so restricted in terms of being authentic. The signs that will feel this lunar event more than others will be the cardinal modality. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn between 0 to 10 degrees of these zodiac placements will feel this lunar event more than others. Anyway, I hope you all have the best full moon in Capricorn ever. Later, and see you in the next episode.